Do you have a favorite? I know it's like this, you can't really say, but if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, it would probably be Alias. It was a good show. It was my first show.
What'd you like about it?
Everything. It was fun to learn from all the wonderful actors on there, like Jennifer Garner, Victor Garber, Ron Rifkin.
Victor Garber's on Flash now, too.
He is. Wonderful Vicky G.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's gonna be Flash is our lead-in. I got a new show called iZombie.
Yes.
Flash is gonna be our lead-in. Anyway, hopefully we can maintain some of their audience.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So tell me about Arrow.
What do you want to know?
It's the best show ever.
Last week's episode. Oh yeah, last week's
episode.
Who saw last week's episode? Yay!
Nice.
This episode was called Canaries, and
So that was heavy you, right?
well, it was my character died in the first episode of spoiler alert.
Cassidy.
So Cassidy's always been on the show, and then who's in the comics? It's her, Laurel Dina Lance is the Black Canary, and Sarah Lance was never even in the comics. There was never even like a pre-Canary.
Okay.
So that was kind of like a new character. But this last week, I got to come back, kind of be a villain, which was cool, and like beat her up.
That Joker smile that you.
I know. I saw that. Like someone like took a screenshot of it, and I was like, "Wow, you really look super creepy there." And then people like painted it like the Joker face. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It looked really creepy. Yeah.
I woke my friend up with that, texting it to her. She was like, "What?"
She's like,
Like 4 o'clock in the morning, and she's like,
terrified.
I'm not a fan of Laurel.
No.
Not a fan of Laurel.
Well, you gotta, pick and choose sides,
Yeah.
right? Go to both sides.
I don't know. I really like the character this week, and especially how when Felicity's supposed to tell you gotta be yourself and everything else. That whole coming into your own.
She's really grown a lot, like the character
Right.
from last season. I mean, she had a rough time, like last season, and she was like a drug addict, and, like pills, alcohol, doing just very. But it was also like the writing, like you were supposed to kind of not like her. So she's.
I abducted her one time.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
On Arrow.
Oh wait, you got Arrow too?
Yeah. I just got done with a big Frankenstein episode of Once Upon a Time, and I was up in Vancouver, and they're like, "Do you want to come play this character, this bad guy?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So I get out of jail at the beginning. My name is Cyrus Vanch. First season?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only in season 2.
It's okay. First season? Because that was first season? Okay. Yeah. And so I get out of jail, and then I start causing havoc, and then I kidnap Laurel, and then by the end I'm back in jail.
She gets kidnapped a lot. Well, it goes kidnapped
I
you.
have a question for you.
Please.
What's it like doing like the flashbacks when you were on the island and then the more recent stuff like when you're back in Starling?
It was weird because it's almost like 2 different characters, and it's the same with Steven. It was funny watching him play the different characters because he's such a his island character's such a little wiener, like even his voice, he'll be like, no, like it's just more of a little boy. To see the transition, as an actor, and so I was kind of trying to do the same thing with Sarah, and she was a little more weak, a little more afraid, not as take charge and confident as current Sarah. And while we were shooting, the hardest part would be she'd be in a situation, and as the canary would be like, just beat him up. Like, don't, like, stand up for yourself. But with Sarah, you have to be like, okay, no, she's gonna cry and like hide or whatever. So it was interesting to play the different ones, but I like older Sarah better.
It was definitely a more complex character. I'm sorry if I interrupt. It was definitely a more complex character. To see your role as the canary as opposed to, and I see what other people are saying. Laurel, she almost hasn't gone through that crucible yet.
Well, yeah,
She's going through it.
It's exactly what it is. I think there was an episode called Crucible,
Right.
and each superhero, kind of has to go through that test to be able to come into their own. And that, I think Laurel's has been a little bit more relatable, maybe not, it's dramatic in a different way, because Sarah's was like you die, you're stuck on an island, you're like some major big things.
That's what I'm worried about.
And well, Laurel's is still like, you know, she had the drugs and alcohol addiction she had to overcome. She had the death of her sister, which I think is a big one for her. She's had her heart broken a lot. I think it's in a different way, but in her world, those have been like major issues. But I hope they do a lot with the training. I know in real life, Caity's been training tons. I don't know if you've seen her like biceps, but I literally was like, okay, like her biceps are bigger than yours.
Yeah.
They're bigger than like I was like, dang, Caity, like calm down.
That's what I'm worried about is the training, because you had the League of Assassins for years.
Yeah. So I think, you know, hopefully they'll keep building the training in for her.
What was it like when you found out like Razagul wasn't going to be in the show and you were doing the whole League of Assassins thing?
It was cool because the producers told me to watch what's the Batman movie where they go to Nanda Parbat? You know which one? Which one is that? On the Snow with Liam Neeson.
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Thank you. So they're like, watch Batman Begins. That's where you trained. And I was like, oh, I'm sick.
How was it preparing for the training scenes, like all the fight and like the workout scenes inside the lair?
Well, I had like the salmon ladder. That was like one thing I've never done before, never tried before. And they were like, we want you to do the salmon ladder. They're like, we can stunt double you. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do it. And Steven actually like, he can do that and like full on have a conversation with you. But he taught me how to do it. It took me like, I had I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks to prepare.
What the heck is a salmon ladder?
You ever seen like that Ninja Warrior? It's like it's doing pull-ups, but you move the bar up a ladder. It's like a steel bar, and you're
And
going.
it's like different
Yeah,
levels.
different
It
levels.
was in the last episode, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but so that was fun training for. And then martial arts wise, I trained a lot before. Before I got on the show, I've done martial arts, and I've actually was just talking to Brandon Routh on Twitter because I just joined a new martial arts gym that does like Filipino martial arts, and I was telling him he should come train with me. It's fun.
So when is iZombie coming out?
Hey!
I'm excited about that show. It's a really interesting premise.
It comes out March 17th.
It's really it looks like an interesting
So
premise.
St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it's after the Flash, as we said, great shirt. It's a Zomcom rom-dram. It's very funny. It's very dark.
Oh, I'm guessing you're the love interest?
Yeah, I'm not the love interest. No, I'm the bad guy. As I usually am.
And you're usually the bad guy?
I'm always the bad guy. I know. I use this time to smile. God knows I don't get to do it between action and cut. But on this, I've been instructed to chew as much scenery as possible. And yeah, Rob Thomas says when I'm not chewing enough scenery, please chew more. So, and that's what drew me to it because it's very funny. And when I read the pilot, I was like, oh, this is a crazy take on the zombie genre. So it's more in the warm bodies vein.
It's like iCarly meets the zombie.
Like iCarly.
It looks like a little.
iCarly meets Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, people are, I mean, it is Rob Thomas and Veronica Mars, so it is kind of like Veronica Mars with zombies.